Hey guys, and welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I'm Leslie and I'm so glad you've joined me. If you're new to my channel, please be sure to right now subscribe. Down there below somewhere there should be a subscribe button. So subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss anything, and then share my channel with all your friends and family. Tonight I've got company coming over. A couple of couples from our church are coming, and so we're having a nice meal. And tonight we're making to go along with the meal, we're making a broccoli casserole. So stay tuned. You're going to join me as we make broccoli casserole. Okay guys, one of the first things we're going to do is saute, not even really saute, just put a little bit of heat to some chopped onion. So I got to chop this onion in my new pan. If y'all haven't checked out my video on my Facebook channel, please go to the Farm and Pastor's Wife Facebook channel page. Follow me on there. And I tell you all about this new cookware I got thanks to Tammy over at Collard Valley Cooks. And if you haven't checked her out, go check her out. You can actually go to her website and purchase this exact set. I'm so excited. So first I'm going to chop up an onion, and I'll bring you back when we get this on. Like I said, I'm not going to really even saute it, and I'll explain why in just a minute. Okay, I've just about got this onion chopped up. Y'all, I'm so excited about my new cookware. I don't even know what to do. Just so excited. So let's bring it over here. Slide my onion out of the way. I'm going to put just a tablespoon or two, maybe a tablespoon and a half of softened butter in there. And I'm just going to go ahead and just dump my onions right in here. It's okay I'm messing up this pan just for these onions, because I'm going to melt a whole stick of butter in it in just a minute. But right now we're going to get it on and get our onions. Now let me explain the onions. My husband thinks he has an aversion to raw onions. But he eats them all the time. Like if I get a hamburger with raw onions on it and I don't eat it all, he'll say, I'll eat it. And he eats it and never says a word. So, but I don't really want to crunch into anything in my broccoli casserole other than the topping. And so I don't mind sauteing it a little bit. I'm not really even going to saute them. I'm just going to soften them just a little bit. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll bring you back. While our onions are sauteing, let's go ahead and get the rest of the casserole together. Now, my recipe says to take 1 package of broccoli and prepare it per package directions. Smelling good. But I actually did 2. I did a bag of the broccoli cuts and a bag of the broccoli flowerets. Now that I've cooked it, some of the flowerets may be just a little bit too big, and I'm just going to cut them in half, if they're even too big at all. I find that 1 package is not quite enough, especially for my husband who's a broccoli lover. But 2 packages are perfect. So let me gonna put this in my bowl. And I've already did it to the package instructions. Y'all, I got a new dishwasher. So excited. My other one bit the dust before Christmas. So that's one reason you haven't seen that many videos from me, is because I just couldn't film and have all these dishes piling up. It was just not conducive. So I now have a new dishwasher. So excited. Okay guys, let's get our onions in here so I can get a stick of butter melted. And I kind of want it to cool just a little bit before I pour the butter in. But I'm going to go ahead with these onions. Get these onions in there. And if I leave a few behind, that's okay. The butter will take care of them. Oh, it already smells delicious, y'all. And I can tell you, I'm going to absolutely adore these pans. So let's get our butter over here. I'm not going to move everything over. Y'all see me opening this butter. And I'm just going to flop it down in this pan. Get it on to melt. And we'll continue putting together the... You see, I really didn't saute those. I just softened them up just a little bit. Alright. So now we're going to go in with a can of cream of mushroom. Hang on to the can. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that. Don't throw the can away quite yet. You can in just a minute. As usual, when I'm cooking, I don't have everything out and ready for you guys. Alright, so there's the can of soup. And now we're going in with a half a cup of mayonnaise. Give or take a little bit. And I'm okay putting in a little more because I did more broccoli than what it calls for. So a little bit more mayonnaise won't hurt anything. So I'm going in with a little bit more than half a cup. Alright guys, I'm gonna... Alright, I hear the butter behind me sizzling. No, I am so excited about these new pots and pans. The only thing is, I don't know where I'm going to put them until I go through my other ones and get them ready to give to Caroline and Isaac. We'll find somewhere. Alright guys, hang on, let me wait till this butter and I'll bring you right back. Okay guys, my butter is melting and it's sizzling, so I just went ahead and pulled it off the stove because I want it to finish melting, but I also want it to cool down a little bit because we're also going to add an egg. And I don't want to pour this hot butter in on my casserole and scramble an egg in there. So, the egg is why I had you keep the can. We're just going to crack our egg in that can of mushroom soup. So when you beat it up with your fork, you're going to loosen up any soup that was left as well. And you're not wasting anything. Y'all, the next time I do the order online from Walmart, I'm going to take you guys with me. I'm going to let you see the whole process from ordering to calling, picking up, and everything. Alright, I'm going in with that egg. You can use 2 eggs if you like. 1 egg does plenty. It's plenty fine. Save your eggs for something else. Alright. Let's mix that up. Now you're going to add in, let's go ahead and add our seasoning now, our salt and pepper. And I really don't measure. I just pinch and go. Bryant used a lot of my salt this morning, so I need to fill up my salt container. I say that's half a teaspoon, maybe teaspoon. Maybe about a half a teaspoon of pepper. Get it good and seasoned. Now let's add our cheese in. Here's where I wasn't ready. I always use sharp cheese for cooking casseroles, unless I say otherwise, but for the most part. Let me clean up just a little bit here. Get my salt and pepper out of the way. All right. Turn you down where you can see this casserole good. You're going to use a half a cup to a cup, and I always err on the cheesy side, so I'm more of a cup girl. There we go. All right. So you've got onion, broccoli, cream of mushroom soup, mayonnaise, cheese, salt and pepper. I don't know if I said an egg. And now we're gonna go in with this stick of butter. I'm gonna kind of stir as I go, so as hopefully not to scramble any egg. I think we're good. The egg's incorporated pretty good. All right, let's go in with it. All right, there goes a whole stick of butter. Yumminess. So again, I used 1 bag of broccoli flowerets and 1 bag of broccoli cuts. To me, that gives the pretty much perfect consistency of a casserole. All right, let's set this aside and get our pan ready. Let me make some room here. I want to show you this new pan I got. I actually got 2 of them. They are Pioneer Woman. I got them at Walmart. Let me grab the other one. One is more yellow, mustardy yellow, and this one is blue, trimmed in blue. They both have red handles. But I got these, came in a set, and it was like less than $19 for that set of 2. So $10 a piece. You can't hardly beat that. I mean, Pyrex, of course, is cheaper, but I just wanted something pretty. So there you go. So I'm just going to spray the sides good. I don't know how well these will clean up, but we'll see. We will see. All right, so in we go with our broccoli casserole. That's it, our casserole, y'all. That's broccoli, mayonnaise, cheese, cream of mushroom soup, onion, salt and pepper, and butter and an egg. I mean, I'm not sure you could get much easier than that. Now let me tell y'all, Bryant will gobble his stuff up like crazy. I mean, he will go bonkers over this casserole right here. This is one of his most favorite things that I make. I'll take the back of that wooden spoon spatula thingamajigger, and we're gonna just kind of spread it out and even it out. Now, if you think you couldn't get any better, I'm gonna scrape off with my fingers. My hands are clean. If you think you couldn't get any better than that, just wait. Because now comes a pack of Ritz. You know, actually, I'm going to hold off on the Ritz right now. because I'm not quite ready to bake this. So I don't want to put the Ritz on and then it gets soggy. So we're going to hold off a little bit. I'll bring you back when it's time to finish this casserole off. I want to share with you one other thing that I'm going to do for supper tonight. Last night, oh, that's not it. It's got a dirty spot. Looks like chocolate's on it. There we go. Somebody had dripped chocolate in my pie plate. Alright, let's try this again. Yesterday I made, was it yesterday? No, it was Thursday. I made some yeast rolls. And I cooked some up, and what I did was I took the rest, went ahead and balled them out, put them on a cookie sheet with parchment paper, flash froze them, and then grabbed a bag and bagged them up. So my husband has requested biscuits tonight, and we're going to have biscuits. But I thought I might do a couple of yeast rolls as well. At least maybe one per person, just to fill this container up. They're not the most beautiful things right now, but they will rise and be absolutely gorgeous. So what I'm doing is I'm getting out enough. Let's see, we've got 7 people gonna be here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. All right. We'll stick the rest of these back in the refrigerator. This is great if you ever just need rolls for an evening. Now you do have to think a little bit ahead of time to let them thaw out and rise just a little bit. But if you want rolls, you don't have to make them if you've already got them made. All right, let me get my... Let me find my bread towel. One of my bread towels. Here we go. I'm going to lay this on it. Set it aside and let it rise. And we'll have biscuits and yeast rolls tonight. Kind of give them a choice. We'll give them a choice. So y'all come back when it's time for me to finish up this casserole. And that's what we'll do. Along with this broccoli casserole, I thought I might as well show you how I do my green beans. So I've got 2 of my home canned green beans that I am just popping the lids off. And let me get this pot over here. Alright, I'm putting juice and all of my home green beans. Now when I can my green beans, I salt them. So I'm not going to add any. We can add that at the table. Ugh. There we go. Sometimes I have to reach up in there and get a few of the strays. And there's a couple of extra strays, so I'm just going to run a little bit of water. And then I'm going to share it with that one and get any strays out of that one. There we go. Alright, now I love to season mine with some side meat. And I've got some side meat here that I purchased. And I don't know the best place to open this, so we're just going in up here. So this is the side meat I got. It says $2.09, but I actually paid $1 for it. I've got a video on this store that I purchased it at. I'm going to get a good piece. I want it to have some fat on it, but I want it to have some meat too. So we'll throw that piece in there, and I wanted a little more fat, but that's okay if I don't have any. I'll just throw this one in. There's not a whole lot of fat on those 2 pieces, so I'm still going to put a drop or 2 of olive oil, if I can find my olive. There it is. I'm going to put just a little bit of drizzle of olive oil in here. I also put a very, very, very small pinch of sugar. There's a story behind my green beans and the sugar. I never, ever, ever put sugar in my green beans. And this is probably a half a teaspoon. And put just a little bit more. I never ever put sugar in my green beans. And we were youth leaders at that time. This has been 20 some years ago. And we were youth leaders at a church in Randleman. And the pastor's wife there she was precious. I loved her. She mentored me so well. And the youth were doing a spaghetti dinner for the adults. It was that Valentine's Day. We were doing a spaghetti dinner for the adults. And I had my green beans on, and she came in and she says, "Have you put sugar in your green beans?" I said, "No." And she came around, she grabbed the sugar container and she put sugar in my green beans. I mean, and just did it. And I was so taken back by it. Like, I can't believe she just put sugar in my green beans. What is she thinking? I mean, like, you just don't do that. But then we ate them, and they were delicious. I never admitted how good they were to anybody, ever. And I still refuse. Like, if Bryant saw me cooking green beans, I didn't put sugar in there because, oh no, you don't put sugar in your green beans. And finally, when I got old enough to realize you can be wrong and admit it, and you don't have to, I mean, I was just young and dumb and thought I had to be right. And when I got old enough and mature enough and wise enough to realize I didn't know it all, I started putting sugar in my green beans. And they're good. Now, I have gotten them too sweet before, and I didn't mean to. And my kids are like, "Ugh, Mom, there's too much sugar in here." And so I only put a pinch. I mean, they don't even make them sweet. It just brings out their flavor. I don't want sweet green beans. The sugar just brings out some of the flavor. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to cook them down. And just let them cook. Let them cook and cook. We're in the South. We cook them to death. So we're going to cook them to death. I'm just going to cook them, not high. I'm not going to, like, scorch them or anything. I'm just going to turn them on and just let them cook. Just let them cook. Okay, guys, what do you say we finish off this broccoli casserole? Let me turn you down, remind you what it looked like a while ago. Of course, you just saw it, so anyway, here we go. I've had to get out a fresh sleeve of Ritz because somebody got into my other sleeve of Ritz. So, and I just open the end, but I crush them inside. It's easier that way. So you can put them in a bag or crush them in your hands. I used to put them in a Ziploc bag, but I always, when I realized I could do it this way, and then I'll sprinkle a few out. You could use Captain Wafer crackers as well, if you wanted to. I just think Ritz probably has a little bit better flavor. But if you had Captain Wafers, that would be fine too. They're both a buttery cracker. I've got my oven preheating to 350. I'll tell you after we get it out how long it was in there. All right. Make sure you get them all. I'm going to use my hands and just make sure they're evenly distributed and I don't have a big pile of them somewhere. All right. As soon as my oven beeps, we'll put it in. And then I'll let you know once we get it out how long it was actually in there. So y'all stay tuned for the finished product. Okay guys, while we're waiting on the stove to get preheated, or the oven to get preheated, thought let's take a look at our green beans in my new cookware. There they are, just a bubbling away. I'll probably, the closer we get to dinner, I'll turn them up and cook a little bit of that juice out. Not much, because they're homegrown. Okay guys, I think our broccoli casserole's been in there quite long. I'm just doing a few. He's asking me why I'm doing yeast rolls.
Because I told her not to.
Well, I'm doing biscuits. I'm just doing a few of those.
Honor your husband.
I'm going to smack him. I'm going to show him honor. Alright, we're getting out our broccoli casserole.
Look at there. Golden brown.
That looks delicious.
Heavenly.
It's bubbling. I don't know if you, I know you can't probably hear it.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Listen. You probably can't hear it.
Alright, let me get here. Grab you a spoon. It smells like heaven. I don't know what heaven smells like, but it's got to smell something like this.
I got a spoon.
No!
She said get a spoon. I got a big spoon. Why is it too big? Yes. I mean, this is a half cup. Can you see that? Half cup.
Yeah, let's put that up.
I'll use a fork. Ready?
Yeah, I got you a paper plate in case you need it. Don't get much. I don't want people to see you in it. This is his favorite casserole.
Favorite. I really don't like it when it's really hot because it's a little thin. I like for it to sit up a little bit. Where are you going?
Shut the lid.
Oh. All right, so
I
here
wash
it is.
my hands.
You can see it's steaming, so that's why I'm not shoving it in my mouth. Hey, look, they want to see my face and my head. You want to come?
Show them your face.
Yeah, and my dirty shirt. It's okay.
Always.
I've been at church doing the remodeling today. So, you know, a lot of broccoli, cheese, Ritz crackers on top, and lots of butter. Okay?
And onion.
But sauteed first. Okay? So, you guys see that broccoli casserole right there? Here we go.
Hot? I think it's
Very,
hot.
very, very hot. I mean, I just peeled the skin off the roof of my mouth hot. So.
Well, that's no fun.
And I did that for you guys, okay? Here, you take a bite.
I'll get my own.
That is so good.
Delicious.
I mean, that is,
Now, this is
restaurant good.
something you could take to somebody who's home from the hospital, a new mother,
Or your pastor.
or your pastor, or just fix at home. It is so good.
Inexpensive, don't cost a lot. Like $3 or $4 in that one side dish, and it's really good.
Delicious.
All right.
All right, I'm going to show you my green beans one more time before we sign out.
What else are we going to do?
Oh, I was going to do put my yeast rolls in the oven.
Yeast rolls that she wasn't supposed to make.
I'm going to sprinkle the top with a little salt.
Sprinkle
Very
the top.
little.
A little salt.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stick this in.
Just show them your new cookware.
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm. Yep, new cookware right there.
Pot holder just in case. All right, here's our green beans.
Look at there. Get a little side meat in there.
They are delicious.
Creamed potatoes right here. Hadn't creamed them yet, but they're getting ready to be.
Yep. All right. Supper's about done. Thank y'all for joining us. Make this broccoli casserole. It is a winner. You won't regret it.
Homemade biscuits right there.
And the biscuits are fixing to go in. So thank y'all for watching The Farm and Pastor's Wife. And remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.